Hi everyone, my name is V. I make sewing content along with other things, and today I'm going to be doing an upcycling of my boyfriend's childhood sheets. I know that sounds really weird, but this is actually such a really good quality sheet. This is a flat sheet. My boyfriend's family never uses their flat sheets, so this was actually in my boyfriend's mom's sewing pile, and I stole it from her because she wasn't going to use it. It looks like here that this may be about like 2.5 yards of fabric, and so what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to surprise him and I'm going to make us a matching set. For mine, I'm probably going to use my Diatop sewing pattern, which I'm really excited about because I haven't made it since I've designed it, so it'll be cool to have a different variation of it. And instead of doing the corset loop up back that the original design had, I'm actually going to be using fabric shank buttons, and I could only find them in white, so I'm actually going to do a really fun thing and use this dye here to dye the buttons, and I've also never done that before, so I'm really excited. For my boyfriend, I'm going to make a plain button-down top for him. It's going to be just this pattern that I found on Etsy, and it looks pretty reliable, so I'm excited to sew that. But I'm so excited, and I am really curious to see if my boyfriend is actually going to recognize these sheets even, but it's really cute. The pattern itself, has like these like little rectangles on it. I don't really know if they're showing very well, but I think that this will be a really unique and fun project to do, so let's get started. Okay, we're in my kitchen now, and I actually was able to mix the dye. I don't know if I did it right because the bottle only put instructions for like the whole bottle, and I don't need the whole bottle for these buttons, so I just really eyeballed everything. And these are the shank buttons I got from Hobby Lobby, so I'm just gonna drop them in there and hope for the best. All right. I honestly also do not mind if these are not a perfect match to the fabric. Like, as long as they're just like any shade of blue, I don't think I care. I finished cutting out all of my pattern pieces for my shirt along with the lining for the bodices as well, so now I can start constructing the shirt. I decided to do my shirt first because it's smaller pattern pieces, so I didn't think it would take up that much space, and that way I could leave the rest of it for the bigger shirt, which is my boyfriend's shirt. So these are also the button pieces. You can tell that they're a little darker than the fabric here, but I think it will add a cute contrast of color. I also have extra white ones that I could use if I don't end up liking the color difference, but it was pretty easy to dye these, so definitely going to keep that in mind for the future. My sewing cabinet undergoes a very serious transformation when I start sewing, and I just have to show you guys. I love this sewing cabinet. I have never loved anything more than this. Boom, ready to sew. Okay, I'm taking my pieces right sides together like this, and then I'm going to sew all around the necklines so we can have a nice finish. If I can figure out where right sides is. There you go. I was honestly thinking about not using like lining fabric and just using regular like just using the same fabric to give it some structure, but I decided against it because I think I'd rather keep the extra fabric for something else. Right now I am trimming the excess here down to about 1/4 of an inch. Alright, so if you guys couldn't follow what I was doing, I basically took my front bodice pieces and my back bodice pieces and attached them together, the lining and the shell separately, and then I connected the lining and the shell through the inner neckline like this. And now I'm going to flip it inside out, and then that way we have a nice clean finish like this. But I am going to understitch on the lining side just so that the seams stay that way, like this way toward the lining, so it will give me a nice clean finish on the edge. So let's do that. Okay, so just showing you guys, I flipped it inside out, and now I'm just going to press the lining and the shell along the neckline here, and just I'm making sure that none of the lining pieces are showing. But here's what the understitching looks like in the back. And it's super clean and nice, and it's just to make sure that the lining doesn't roll over to the front, so without having to top stitch everything. So I'm just going to give everything a nice press. Cool, so it's all now one piece. I'm loving this color. I'm so happy with this. Okay, so I stopped filming yesterday because I was getting really overwhelmed, but this is what I got done yesterday, which is honestly a majority of the shirt, and I just need to do the gathers at the bottom and the sleeves. But the reason why it was taking me so long was because I was trying to figure out how to do the button loops on the back. I came to the conclusion that I think I want to try to learn how to hand sew them instead of using, I think I had like a rat tail ribbon, and I just like could not get the spacing right. So there was like a lot of unpicking and picking. So I just went ahead and finished these seams, and I'm just going to use hand stitching to finish both of the buttons and the buttonholes. So I think I have to do that now before I finish up the bottom sleeves. But I really love this color though. I think the really light baby blue is super cute, and I think it would be really cute as a matching set, so. Okay, I just wanted to explain real quick what I was doing here, but please do not use this as a tutorial. But I basically marked all of my lines with like the same distance between each loop, and to figure out how big my button loops here are. So I did that, and then I went ahead and basically just did like knots with my embroidery floss all around like that foundation string to give it more structure, and I did that all around the entire loop, and then I just finished off the knot, and that's how I got these really cool button loops. I'll definitely link the tutorial that I used down below. It's super easy. I highly recommend. It's so much easier, and this way you get to kind of take more control over how spaced out everything is. It was really great. Okay, it took me 2 hours, but it was worth it. But I finished all of the buttonholes here, and I also finished all of the buttons on the side, which I also hand stitched. I think the darker blue honestly looks pretty good with it. I kind of like the contrast, and although I have like 3 different shades of blue on this shirt. I think it makes it unique. So I tried it on. I did have to take in the side seams a little bit because I think there was just a lot of space because I wasn't doing the corset loop back. So I just took in the side seams, I think like about maybe like 3/4 of an inch. But other than that, like, it looks so good. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is either work on the gathers or the sleeves because that's all that's left. But I'm leaning towards the gathers because I feel like I need something a little bit easier to do. So I'll go ahead and finish off the bottom here. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys where I was at with this top, and it's perfect. I love, 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 love the color, and I'm like actually obsessed with how it's turned out so far. When I've pattern tested this before, I've only used like cotton prints with designs on them, so seeing it in a kind of like more solid and tame color, I feel like really brings the pattern together. I feel like I had reached a dead end in the past because I didn't love the pattern, and I didn't realize that that's what was keeping me from making a shirt that I loved, that I could wear out all the time, but this is definitely going to be a staple. But yeah, I'm going to add the sleeves now, and I did make this a little bit longer than like how I pattern tested it, but I kind of like the longer look, and I was thinking about other possibilities about like how I could make this into a dress one day. If I wanted to make it shorter, I could make it shorter. If I wanted to make it sleeveless, I can make it sleeveless. So I'm really happy with this, and I'm really glad I revisited this pattern that I designed because, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was stuck. And here's how the back looks. I am obsessed with that as well. I really didn't love the corset closure. I mean, that's definitely a possibility, but I think that this makes it look more clean and nice. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. But okay, I still kept this back part open though, but you honestly can't really tell, but I like it. Alright, I finished my shirt and she is so cute. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And the buttons on the back I feel like just make it look so elegant and clean, and I really like it a lot more than the corset loop back. But something I will say about the corset back is that it gave me a lot more tightness and fitted look. Like, this is pretty tight to the point where it fits me, but with the corset loop back I was able to get it really, really tight, which I definitely think helped with the sleeves, because right now my sleeves are a little loose and it could like fall off at any moment. It's not that bad. Like, I definitely can like still move my arms around, but it will still, you can see it kind of wants to move down a little bit, and I definitely think that has to do with like the less amount of tightness on the upper back part. So something to keep in mind, if I ever want to release this pattern, I'll definitely just move the arm in a little bit so it's not super close to the shoulder, and hopefully that will help with the tightness. But other than that, it's so cute. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm really excited to make my boyfriend's shirt now. I'm not planning on making a mock-up for his. I'm just gonna go with a size large and just hope for the best because I don't have time to make a mock-up, so we're just gonna have to do with it and hopefully it works out fine. Alright, I cut out all the pattern pieces for my boyfriend's shirt. I'm using the Laguna shirt from Etsy. I don't really know. Oh, it says on here, Tobias Conrath is the designer of this, and it's this is like huge. I've never made menswear before, so I'm not really used to this scale, but I'm excited, so yay. Alright, I apologize for the lack of filming, but this is where I have gotten with my boyfriend's shirt. It's been a pretty easy pattern and very thorough pattern, might I add. I'm pretty sure the instruction booklet is like 80 pages long, but I appreciate more detail than less. So I've never attached a collar without a collar stand before, so this was interesting, but it worked out great. So I think the next thing for me to do is add the sleeves, finish up the side seams, add the buttons, and I'm pretty much done. I think it only took me about 2 hours after cutting, like not including cutting, to get to this point. So I will say my pocket is a little misshapen. Like you can tell that it's a little elongated compared to most pockets, but you know, adds character, not complaining. I'm really sorry for the lack of clips for making my boyfriend's shirt, but I was on a time crunch, so it was kind of hard for me to film at the same time. But here is the finished shirt. It is so cute and it turned out really good. I feel like usually when I sew stuff, there's always something, at least one thing that goes horribly wrong, but nothing went wrong with this, and I didn't do a mock-up for this either, which was amazing. You can tell that this kind of has like a high-low situation, which I didn't know it had until I started sewing, but if my boyfriend doesn't like that, I can definitely just go ahead and hem it up some more. But I think it's cute. I don't know if he has a shirt like that, so I think this will be really nice and it helps it flow a lot more. I learned a lot from sewing this shirt, and I'm really happy that I have a couple more techniques under my belt. So one of them being sewing with facing. I have sewed with facing before, but this was the first time that I ever completed a facing with like binding. I don't know if you can see it here. It might be covered by the hanger. With binding here, and this is like part of the facing here where you have to stitch it to kind of hold it in place. So that's cool because I've seen that on a couple of like men's like wear before, so it's nice to kind of see like what the purpose of it is and how it plays into this. I also learned that you're supposed to reinforce pocket corners, which I feel like I've just never really paid attention to. Like, I don't know if you can really see it on camera, but it makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad I learned that as well. And this was also the first time that I used my automatic buttonhole foot from my machine, so that was really cool to be able to use and figure out, and also my first time sewing buttons with my new machine as well. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I think with my shirt, it's definitely going to be such a cute set that we can wear out to dinner or something. We are going to Las Vegas next week for Christmas, but maybe I'll gift this to him early so he can wear it while we're on vacation, and I can have a nice little matching set for dinner one day. Alrighty, my shirts are all done. I don't have my boyfriend's shirt with me, but I will include some pictures of him wearing it and some videos. He didn't recognize the fabric at first, but once I pointed it out, I think something clicked in his head and he was like, oh my gosh, that's like my bed sheets. I gave it to him as a Christmas present and I really think he liked it, and we went on vacation with my family and he was able to wear it. I forgot my shirt for the vacation, otherwise I totally would have worn it and maybe gotten some footage out of it, but we are long distance, so I'm not able to film more videos of us wearing the matching fit, but I hope you guys can imagine it. I'm so happy that I was able to revisit my Dia top pattern. Like I mentioned before, I really haven't done it with a solid color before, so I feel like the patterns that I've used before were kind of distracting. So this to me is gorgeous, and I still do need to fix the sleeves. I'm going to repattern the sleeves because I think that they're just a little too tall, and that's probably what's causing it to fall. That's gonna be a problem for another time. I haven't really had the motivation to finish the shirt yet because I did serge it already. So I think that's what's like, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with it. I will eventually, I promise. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a much like shorter long form video than I'm used to. So let me know what you guys think. I'm kind of playing with like music, no music, longer videos, shorter videos, I don't know. I just started making these videos a couple months ago, so any feedback that you guys have would be greatly appreciated. But other than that, I hope to see you guys in my next video.